Hello, today we're going to walk through the lesson plan component of CTE-360 and just show you some of the capabilities that exist there. So I'm in my demo environment and I'm in my automotive technology program. I can see the lesson plans that have been created. We're going to take a look at the remove and replace a timing belt lesson plan as an example. Here you can create tags to organize your lesson plans. So these are essentially ways, almost like a folder where I can see all of my lesson plans that deal with timing belts or drivetrain, for instance. Give the lesson plan a title. And then another feature within the application here within CT360 is having the ability to create your tasks and competency lists here. And your lesson can then be related to those tasks on your task list by choosing one or more of those tasks here. Within the application, you can also automatically generate performance objectives by adding a condition and criteria to your task statements. And if that's set up, you'll see those automatically generated performance objectives shown here. Or you can add, other performance objectives or targets that, goals for this particular lesson plan. We can also then link this lesson plan to academic standards, PA core standards and reading, mathematics, etc. here. Science standards have also been recently added. And then the PA career education and work standards are listed here as well. One of the other components within the application here is asset management. So you can have all of your equipment, supplies, resources, textbooks, etc. And then any of those things that you're going to be using throughout this lesson plan can be assigned here. So that's also a way to link to other documents that can be linked to those assets. Like in this case, this car lift might have a safety manual or something that is relevant to this lesson plan. So by linking these together, we can make that correlation. We also have math and literacy components here, which act sort of like a mini lesson plan to highlight the academic concepts that are related to this lesson plan. So, of course, we have some of the PDE provided resources here for T-charts. We also have a template that you can use to build your own T-charts within the application. And what the intent here is to relate the terminology that the students used to seeing in their shop environment to what they might see on a standardized test. So for instance, if I'm a building trade student and in my classroom, I've learned how to calculate the pitch of a roof, I may not realize that I'm also calculating the hypotenuse of a triangle using Pythagorean's theorem. And once that relationship has been made and I understand the terminology there, hopefully the intent is that, again, they'll score better on standardized tests. So we have the literacy components here as well, and if any were related to this particular lesson plan, I could add those in here. Next are some of the more typical things that you would see on a lesson plan, the materials that I plan to use, how I plan to introduce my lesson, what instructional procedures are going to be used. The next section here are for what teaching strategies do I plan to use to either introduce my lesson or throughout the lesson itself. So either pre-learning, during learning, or post-learning. And if, say, you use max teaching strategies, for instance, we can have these preloaded into the application. And that way teachers can see different strategies and ways that I might want to vary my instruction or encourage students to take notes or, assess the students afterwards. Next, I have student activities and procedures. So what would I like my student to do throughout this lesson? What accommodations or adaptations am I going to make for my IEP students? And then finally here, how do we plan to assess the students' performance of these tasks, both formatively and summatively? The last few options here are for managing related resources, either web links or file attachments. And the nice thing about this is if I'm utilizing something here multiple times throughout a lot of different lesson plans, like maybe this CDX material here. I've used that on 50 lesson plans. Here, if the web link changes, I can modify that just one place, and now it's been updated for all of those associated lesson plans. And then the same sort of concept for file attachments. So anything that I'm going to update, maybe I have a task packet or something here that I'm modifying, and it could be, again, linked to multiple lesson plans. Here I can manage it all just in one place. Now, once my lesson has been created, then one of the other nice things that you can do within our application is to schedule that lesson plan. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here as the teacher of automotive and then go over to my schedule page. And from here, this is where I can see all of my lesson plans. So let's say we're going to go ahead and schedule this remove and replace timing belt. I just drag it onto the calendar here for whenever I want to teach it. Let's say we're going to do Tuesday through Thursday this week, and then we're going to do this for our afternoon students. We can split our students here into different groups, and there are multiple ways you can do that, by grade level, by graduation year. You can handpick them individually, AM or PM kind of session. So let's say that my PM students are going to be doing this. And again, we're going to figure this is going to last 3 days. And let's 11 to 1 looks good here. Actually, let's make it 11 to 2 and put that on the calendar. Now, each one of those groups here is color coded, so I can quickly see all the ones with this green border are going to be for my PM students. Let's say I'm also doing lab safety this week for my morning students. So let's go ahead and put this on the calendar here as well. Choose my AM session, and let's say we're going to do that this whole week. And maybe go to 11 o'clock. And now I have that on my calendar. So the idea here is not only the instructor, but also administration, students, they can see what's planned for the week. Or you can also add custom events or school-wide activities. So I know to schedule around an assembly or, a day off that we have throughout the building. And right from here, if I click on this, this is a quick way for me to be able to edit my lesson plan or print it, to even export this to another calendar, etc.